We are halfway through 2018, and how that is possible, I don't know. In fact, it's so crazy, it gives me the fear. For some perspective, WrestleMania 35 is only 9 months away. And now I've said that doesn't sound that impressive. That sounds like a long time away. Ignore that. Just know that 2018 is going really fast. Anyway, let's not worry about that, and let's worry about the things that matters, which is indeed going through the first half of the year, seeing what WWE did, and giving the good bits an up, and giving the bad bits a down, because that's just what we do. I'm Simon Miller, this is WhatCulture, and let's up those downs for 2018 within the WWE so far. And we'll start positive, even though there are arguments both sides about whether he should still be WWE Champion. But here I stand in July of the year 2018, and AJ Styles is still holding that World Heavyweight Gold. That is unbelievable, or, wait for it, it's phenomenal. I'm sorry. I hate myself too. Get enough. He won the damn thing in November 2017, and not only is that an incredible run to begin with, but it's his second reign with the title. And also, don't forget there was a time AJ Styles was never even meant to make it to the WWE, and now, today, he is as synonymous with the company as anybody, and the company needs him. Imagine where they'd be without AJ Styles. Plus, he's on the cover of the video game this year, and sometimes you need to take a step back and let all of that just wash over you, because the thing is, AJ Styles is so good, it just all fits him. And that's why we don't talk about it enough. It fits him like one of those gloves that he wears. And yeah, there is a potential down that really Shinsuke Nakamura should have won that title at some point. But given the fact the downside to this is that AJ Styles is still a champion, I don't think really we can be that upset. If nothing else, as these words come out of my mouth, Styles is absolutely entrenched in the WWE roster. And I just think it's wonderful. I think it's wonderful. It makes me happy. It makes my heart sing. Makes my guts feel all lovely and warm and fuzzy. Whatever that means. That's all I can say. What more do you want from me? He got an up. He got the first up. Because the first thing I thought of when I went to write this was like, man, AJ Styles is still the WWE champ. It's just great. We do have to give a down to the second half of WrestleMania, or at least that main event. And yes, included in that is Roman Reigns. So down. It's ridiculous to talk about these days because it's so long in the tooth, but we have to because we've got to be honest with ourselves. But of course, that main event between Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns not only bombed, but it bombed hard. The fans are already booing and disinterested before they even locked up, and when that happens, forget about it. Even if you want to try and get invested, you can't. You've already been shot out of a cannon. This obviously got worse because Brock didn't lose, which meant he retained the Universal Championship, and no one saw that coming. We all thought the opposite, and it now means we haven't seen that belt on Raw in around about 432 days. That is a down. It's a perfect example of just letting something going on too long, and I was one of the people that actually enjoyed how WWE was treating Brock Lesnar and how the Universal title wasn't always on the show. But we're too far gone. We're too far past the lane, and we really need to bring that championship back to Raw and start making it mean something again. Also, there's rumors going around that it could be months before this happens, which goes to show that at WrestleMania, WWE should have just pulled the trigger and put this whole mess to bed. Yeah, Roman wouldn't have been cheered, but right now, that would have been a damn sight far better than what we've got, which is nothing. That's literally what we've got, nothing. Because Lesnar don't turn up, and the belt don't turn up either. And that's nothing against Brock Lesnar, it's not his fault. He's just doing what he's told. However, let's put that damn title back on Monday nights, and let's do it soon, for goodness sake. It's an up for the rest of WrestleMania though, because I loved it and had a really good time. So yeah, up. As well as Ronda Rousey proving that she has a serious future within the worlds of pro wrestling, we had all that fun stuff with John Cena and Undertaker, which I personally enjoyed. I thought it paced out a 5-hour plus show really well, and the Intercontinental title match was awesome. Also, it gave us that gif of John Cena running backstage, and we all remember what a good time we had with that. So you can't criticize it now. If it made you laugh, you bought in. That Charlotte-Asuka match too, and we are going to get to the latter in a second, but still, on the night, absolutely excellent. You can't get mad at that. Hence why I'm not mad. And we just mentioned the Empress of Tomorrow, so let's go all in with that. But we did indeed have 2 Royal Rumble winners this year. They both went on to WrestleMania. Neither main evented the damn thing, and they both lost. That gets a down. I know a lot of people don't really care about the Rumble winner main eventing WrestleMania, especially when WWE just goes, they're all main events, don't worry about it. But that's just not true. There is something special about going on last, and you do water down the stipulation when you never do it. They also both lost at the Showcase of Immortals, and that meant Asuka's undefeated streak went into the loo as well, and that sucked because coming out of it, what has WWE really done with her? She certainly doesn't feel as strong as she once did. Probably means that was a mistake. And while Nakamura's heel turn was awesome, like we said, he didn't win the WWE title, and because of that, it feels a little bit like he's just fallen back into the status quo. He's setting up for a feud with Jeff Hardy as I talk, and that is exciting because I think they have some great matches, but I don't think either was treated or used in the way they should have done Hence why it's got to get it down. They're both so talented, we could do more with them, I believe, as a human being. It's a massive up, though, for Gargano and Ciampa down in NXT, because of course it is. My word, up. I'm not even really sure what I can say about it at this point, because you already know. It's one of those programs that's been going on for ages, is absolutely drowning in emotion and storyline and narrative, and it has someone you truly hate and someone you truly love. Also, it's not even over yet. We got loads to do with it. Plus, we could redo it on the main roster. It's just, I haven't even got a word. It's kablamo. It's kablamo. And it's another up for NXT as a whole too, because there is so many highlights that you could pick out. The continued evolution of the Velveteen Dream. Ricochet is now in NXT, or the fact that EC3 is there. That's cool. Aleister Black, he's the champ. Great. I've missed loads there, of course, but given that NXT did go through that tiny lull a little while ago, right now it's firing again on all cylinders. And also, Keith Lee is now there. Keith Lee is amazing. Following that trend, we also now have NXT UK. And sure, there's a whole conversation you can have about that, but here is not the time or place. But if you take that and you take a World of Sport, which I'm just sneaking in there, it's a very exciting time for professional wrestling in the United Kingdom. You may have already seen the shows from the Royal Albert Hall, which were truly inspiring. And yeah, again, just quietly, and that's about WWE. But soon, ITV are about to run a 10-episode series for World of Sport. And that is a far cry from when I was a kid. And I used to go down to my local leisure centre to watch indie pro wrestling. And 9 times out of 10, a guy came out and he'd be dressed as Kane. Now, it was fun. Don't get me wrong, it was fun. But this makes all the difference in the world. And to see WWE putting so much faith and so much power and so much momentum behind the UK, well, I'm excited. And I'm excited about everything else. This is focused on WWE. I just think it's all exciting. It's all exciting. We shift back to the Downs though, because really WWE has not done a very good job of introducing new stars to its roster in 2018. And yeah, there is a video on WhatCulture Wrestling all about that right now, which you can go and watch using your eyes. But down. The quick version is just that too, whether it was No Way Jose, Ember Moon, Sanity, the Authors of Pain, Lashley, whoever got put on Raw and SmackDown that hadn't been there previously, felt like just faces in the crowd within weeks. That's not what we should be doing with new people. They should come in, they should run amok, and start to feel special, kind of like they've done with Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre, you can get an up, you've been brilliant, everyone else, it's not your fault, but they should be booked better. And another down as we remember Backlash 2018, because really, that may very well be the worst pay-per-view of the year, and if that is true, we have to give it a down. So it gets a down. AJ and Shinsuke ended in a draw. That tag match between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn taking on Bobby Lashley and Braun Strowman went absolutely nowhere, and it's even worse in hindsight. And then, of course, there was that main event between Roman Reigns and Samoa Joe where nobody cared and then left before it even finished. It wasn't all bad, as Seth Rollins versus The Miz was actually pretty decent, but I cannot think of one other redeeming feature to tell you to go and watch it. Really, they could take it off the WWE Network, and I don't think anybody would ever even notice. Not true. Somebody always notices. You know who you are. But you see what I'm trying to say. In many ways, it doesn't even matter what has happened in the previous 6 months or what happens in the following 6 months, because 2018 will always be the year when somehow Daniel Bryan was cleared to step back into a WWE ring. And that is just, it's so fantastic, it negates anything else up. It's why I'm not even that bothered who he feuds with or what WWE does with him, because again, no matter what he does do, I don't feel like I was ever meant to see it. Again, if we had gone back to January, I've said this 1,000 times, but if we had gone back to January and I told you Daniel Bryan's going to come back and also his comeback fight is going to be at WrestleMania 34, you would have done that with your fist and you would have punched me in the face. Why? Because you don't play with people's emotions like that, but damn it, it was actually true. Also, given that he came back at Mania 34, which was in New Orleans, well, I mean, talk about a poem. What a poem that was. The same damn arena, we had all that fun at WrestleMania 30, and now the man is back. That really is heartwarming. And I've said it already, heartwarming to say the least. Let's get negative from nowhere though, and give the Greatest Royal Rumble a down. Now as a show, I didn't mind it. It did go on too long, but I like these random WWE Network specials. I don't know why, they just feel special. And also, that match between Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles at the time was their best fight within WWE to date, and that counts for something. The problem was all the controversy surrounding it. Now I don't want to talk about politics too much on these things, because I don't feel like it's my place, but given the women's revolution, or evolution, whatever it's called, and the fact that women weren't allowed to be on this show, plus the fact Sami Zayn was also banned because of his religious beliefs, well, it's a little bit hard to take. And you don't have to think about it if you don't want to. It's entertainment. You're allowed to completely ignore that. However, when we do think about it, I think we've got to mention it. I think it's only right. It's the right thing to do. Samoa Joe, though, up. And yes, I mean Samoa Joe in general. Now, absolutely sucked that he got injured and had to miss WWE's hottest period of the year, but really, who has been better on either Raw or SmackDown than Samoa Joe. Every time he opens his mouth, or every time he has a match, I completely believe what he's doing, and that's really hard to pull off. And it's similar to AJ Styles in the sense he was never meant to be on this stage, but now he's here, and he's absolutely killing it, and he's imperative to the company. And deserved. You can give Samoa Joe really scripted words, and he can still manage to make them sound real. That is a skill not a lot of people have, and Samoa Joe does it like he's walking along the park feeding ducks and bread. And that's why he's great. We all know what pro wrestling is, but Joe is one of those guys that can just for a split second make you go, maybe he is real, I'm not 100% sure. And that's why I love him. That's why Samoa Joe by himself gets a damn up. He better get a damn world title run this year too, because if he doesn't, I'm going to march around and get really mad. And on the subject of world title runs, Rusev is in the main event of Extreme Rules 2018, fighting for the WWE Championship. It's getting an up. Happy Rusev Day. Happy Rusev Day also gets an up. And a quick fire round now, because I did that before, or last time I did one of these videos, and I really enjoyed it. Go. The Miz, up. Nobody has their character better down than him. Bobby Roode, down. Should be a heel and isn't being used in the right way anyway. Bobby Lashley, another down. He needs more time and he needs more focus. He's lost his magic. Kevin Owens, up. Has been awesome for the entire year and will guaranteed be awesome for the rest of the 6 months too. Sami Zayn, down because he's out for the whole year after shoulder surgery. Sucks. Charlotte, up. Potentially the best women's wrestler ever in the WWE. Braun Strowman, down because unbelievably here we are in July, and I actually think that his momentum has been killed just a little bit. Now, it could have something to do with the fact he teamed with a 10-year-old at WrestleMania, which I did like, but it's a question we got to look at, and it's a statement I felt like I needed to make. And we give one final up for a very strange entry, but yeah, the All In event that's coming in September, despite this video being focused on WWE, I'm giving it an up, and I'm about to tell you why. We haven't even had the event yet, but the amount of buzz surrounding it is crazy. I mean, Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks managed to sell that whole building out, and I think it's 10,000 plus seats in Chicago in less than 30 minutes. And now everybody wants to know who's gonna be on the card and what matches are we gonna have. And if it all goes very well, and this wave of, I don't know what you call it, success continues, you could say that All In has the potential to become the WrestleMania of the indie scene. I know that's hyperbole gone mad, but it could, and really, it should. And this is where I make my point too, because if that does happen and it starts to rub WWE the wrong way, you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna fire back, and when they fire back, it means they're gonna push creative harder, and they're gonna push ideas harder. And you know what happens when two companies go head to head? You know who wins? The fans. And that means we get a better product all around, because sometimes to get that, WWE needs a swift kick up the ass. And maybe, just maybe, All In is the swift kick up the ass that WWE needs. But hey, I think it's going to be amazing. And if it's as amazing as I believe, the whole wrestling landscape could change just a little bit. Like I say, everybody, including us, will benefit. Now, don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you think the highlights of 2018 in the WWE are so far. Like, share, and subscribe. Head over to WhatCulture.com and read yourself some articles, and follow WhatCulture on Twitter. WhatCulture WWE. My name is Simon from WhatCulture, and as we are doing a video to highlight that we're halfway through the year, I want to thank you for joining me for the last 6 months, and hope that you will join me for the next 6 months too. I love all of you, and love is everything.